guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kayla and today we're going to be embroidering a name on this stocking right here. We're going to do it in gold. I'm using candle thread today, which I'm really excited to try out. We're going to be using our 8-in-1 fast frame on the EM1010 today. I know I'm not using my new TC today, but this frame is for the 1010 and it's going to be a lot easier to hoop on here, so that's what we're doing. I have my name printed out to pin onto the stocking. We're just gonna pin it on like this to get our placement and everything. And then we'll stitch it out and see what it looks like. You're also going to need a sticky stabilizer. I have this linked down below. I got it on Amazon and I think it works really, really well. So let's go ahead and stitch out the stocking. Okay, so I am going to place it where I think is center. I'll just eyeball it to begin with. I also have 2 pins that I'm gonna use, just regular sewing pins, to pin it in place. And you gotta make sure you don't pin it to the other side. So you're gonna have to put your hand under the flap. Be careful you don't poke yourself. And then what I do is I hold it up just out in front of me and make sure I like it. And then I will hold it up from the hoop and see how I like it. You know, see if it looks crooked or anything. But I think that looks really good just right there on the first shot. So now what we're going to do is we're going to carefully turn this inside out. Okay, and then straighten out this top part again. Okay, now we're going to put our stabilizer on our frame. So what I like to do is I like to put my frame upside down. And then I'm going to measure approximately how much I need and then cut. Okay, so now I'm going to lay this across like that and then cut off the bottom over here. And I always save these scraps just in case I need it for one of the other smaller frames. So now we're going to remove the backing. And we're going to place it on our frame like this. And now we're going to flip it over and fold over the excess that's on the sides. This is just what I like to do. Some people just tear off the excess. I don't know why, but I like to fold it over. Now we're gonna slide it into the stocking. Now what I'm looking at, actually, before I put it in, do you see this little V right here? Right there? I hope you guys can see that on the camera. I am lining that up with the black line right here in the middle of my example. So these little crosshairs right here that tell me where the middle of my design is, I'm drawing an imaginary line with my eyes to line it up with the V. So now I'm going to face it this way. Okay. And now I can tell just by looking at it that the black line is lined up with the center point of the frame. So now I'm going to carefully push it down in place. Okay, so now we are ready to put it on our machine. I am not taking this off yet. I'm going to leave this on for where I trace so that I know it's exactly where I want it. I can feel with my hands that it is nowhere near the metal part of the frame, either on this end or this end. So let's go ahead and put it on our machine. So now you can see right here, the name to us looks normal, but on our frame, it's upside down. And that's because we flipped it inside out and this is on a cuff. So we need to flip it upside down on our machine too. So I'm gonna go over here to design set, this little F square button right here. And then I'm going to flip it upside down and then hit OK. And now it is the same direction as it is on the frame. And now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to make sure I'm on the correct hoop. I'm going to have it set to my C hoop, which is my 5x7 hoop. And I'm doing that because there's no set option for the 8-in-1 device. Now, as some of you guys know, there's no set option for the 8-in-1 device. So I have it set to my 5x7 hoop. And what I'm simply gonna do is I'm just gonna pay attention to where it traces. I'm not necessarily concerned with the actual hoop size that's set. If it traces in where I want it and doesn't hit the metal part, I'm fine. You can set it to other, but it's gonna be really hard to see on your screen because it makes the design like tiny. So you can't see, like you wouldn't be able to make sure you correctly flipped it upside down or anything like that. So I have it set to my 5x7 hoop, and I'm simply just gonna see where it traces and make sure it's, you know, not hitting the metal sides and it's exactly over where my printout is, which is another big reason why I kept this here, so that I can make sure it's going to stitch out exactly where I want it. So I hope that makes sense. Took a few tries, but I have it perfect exactly where I want it. So I'm gonna straighten that back out. Take my pins off. Now, I forgot to add this in the beginning of the video when I went over the supplies you're gonna need, but I'm going to put some water-soluble stabilizer on the top. This isn't really thick minky, but it's enough to where I'm like, yeah, I should probably put something on there. So I'm just gonna lay that on top. You can tape it if you want. And then I have my gold thread set. So now we're just gonna hit start. Okay, now we're gonna take it off. Stitched perfectly. Now we're gonna take the water-soluble stabilizer off. Cut this little thread right here. Okay, stitched absolutely perfect. So now we're just going to carefully take it off. And the sticky stabilizer just rips. So I'm just gonna get it started and then pull like that. And now we're gonna put it back right side out. All right, and there we have it. Super easy, super fast. Did it in like 10 minutes. I actually did a matching green one. So there you have it. So far I'm really happy with that candle thread. You know, it's a brand that I've seen a lot of different YouTubers using lately, and I wanted to try it for myself, and I didn't have any thread breaks or anything, so that was really nice, and I think it looks great. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed Vlogmas Day 3, and I'll see you back tomorrow for Day 4.